Who truly speaks through these pages? Some ancient sage, or something that has waited centuries to be heard? This concealed manuscript, Treatise XVIII, arrives bound to the Fragmented Act of Treatise XVII like two consecutive fissures in the same ancient stone. Both belong to the collection later known as the Corpus Hermeticum, a body of writings formed between Egypt and the late Mediterranean, where different authors gathered teachings attributed to Hermes Trismegistus. It was not born as a single book, but as a scattered tapestry exploring the ways in which the human mind approaches the divine, and how knowledge acts upon those who dare to receive it. The essence of this manuscript concentrates itself in a profound tension, the force that limits the soul and the inner power that seeks to raise it to its original height. Sofia placed this treatise in my hands with a seal cracked from within, an ancient light long restrained that finally found its way out. It came from a corner where texts are kept that once survived forced silences and the hands that tried to halt them. Whoever reads it must move forward with attention. These pages function as an inner examination. They tighten, affirm, and reveal the state of the string each reader carries. A phrase rises from the heart of the text, direct and firm. Let us press on then. Nothing stops it. In this reading, the acts unfold like three successive chambers. The first describes the fragility of the instrument and the firmness of the breath. The second follows the descent of the song toward those who rule. The third gathers the praise that rises and returns to its origin. Behind them continues to resonate the Fragmented Act of Treatise XVII, where the visible is linked to the invisible and keeps alive the memory of both worlds. Prepare yourself. For what is shown here requires a constant presence, an attuned attention capable of recognizing each vibration as though your inner being were about to arrange itself into its proper form, to be better and greater than its offspring, and that the exordium, the beginning, the middle, and the end of our praises be the recognition of the Father's boundless power and limitless infinity. Fragmented Act, Treatise XVII. If you reflect, O king, the incorporeal too is among bodies. Which ones? Said the king. The bodies that are seen in mirrors. Do they not seem incorporeal to you? So they do, Tat. You speak divinely, the king replied. But there are other incorporeals. For instance, the forms that manifest in bodies, not only in living beings, but also in inanimate things. Do you not think that these, too, are incorporeal? What you say is fitting, Tat. Thus, there is a reflection of the incorporeal in the corporeal, and of the corporeal in the incorporeal. In this way, the sensible reflects itself in the spiritual world, and the spiritual in the sensible. Therefore, O king, revere the statues, for they too are figures of the spiritual world. O prophet, it is time for me to attend to my guests, said the king, rising. Tomorrow we shall continue the study of the divine and the matter that concerns us. The fragment we hear presents a brief yet essential teaching for understanding the hermetic vision of the bond between the visible and the invisible. Tat explains to the king that there are forms that manifest without body, like the images reflected in mirrors, appearances without matter, presences without substance. The treatise expands this idea by affirming that the figures revealed in living beings or in inanimate things also belong to what is incorporeal. Here a continuous correspondence is described between two planes. The sensible acts as a mirror of the spiritual, and the spiritual seeks ways to make itself visible in the sensible. Both levels form a single reality, adopting different degrees of density and clarity. Tat invites reverence towards statues because a form of spirit is expressed in them. Every figure, every image, every line functions as a bridge toward that which cannot be perceived directly. The dialogue ends abruptly, as if the conversation were suspended just when it was about to deepen. This interruption leaves its meaning open. The visible is impoverished when the silent presence of the invisible is ignored, and even a fragment can contain a complete teaching for the one willing to listen. In the next act, we will begin Treatise XVIII, where the Hermetic teaching continues to unfold with new depth. The first act, the string and the breath. A silent hall opens before us. A solitary lyre rests in the dimness, and its uncertain vibration reveals the fragility with which the soul attempts to offer its song. When an instrument breaks in the midst of a concert, the promised beauty scatters. The audience directs its judgment toward the wooden body and its string, not toward the musician who sustains the melody. So it is with us. The divine breath always preserves the knowledge of its art. Its cadence flows without weariness. The flaw belongs to the body, which at times refuses to obey the intention of the one who animates it. This treatise invites us not to accuse the origin for the clumsiness of matter. The sculptor Phidias found resistance in the stone. Likewise, the singer may see a weakened string spoil the purity of his work. And yet, the more limited the matter, the greater the splendor of the artist's constancy. Gnosis understands this mystery. The soul seeks to recover its tuning so that it may receive without distortion the rhythm that gives it being. We are commanded to tune the inner lyre. Some artists do so without an external instrument, turning their own bodies into the tool of a hidden sound, like that player who, favored from above, saw his broken string completed by a cicada sent to sustain his melody. His triumph was born from that unexpected help. The narrator of the treatise acknowledges his own weakness. For a moment, he felt incapable. But the help of the Most High filled him and allowed him to sing the song destined for the king. Therefore, he moves forward, tunes his lyre, and consecrates himself with greater ardor. And the fairer his melody, and the sweeter his song shall be, the greater the commitment to which his song obliges him. Act 2. The Descent of the Song. From the heights, a single radiant note descends. Its gleam guides the order of praise, first to the Supreme One, then to those who bear his image upon the earth. The artist tunes his lyre for the king. His song is an encomium, yet before addressing the ruler, the singer's soul ascends toward the Most High, King of the universe. There the melody begins. From that origin, all victory proceeds. And from that higher realm, the song descends in harmony to those who wield the scepter in this world. The kings welcome this movement that flows from above. They acknowledge that their triumphs spring from the source from which their authority is drawn. The musician, obedient to this sacred structure, turns first to the eternal, immortal, and ever sovereign. He from whom the heirs of victory receive their invincible strength. Then the discourse reaches the kings of earth. they safeguard the peace and security of their people. The Supreme One raised them long ago, preparing their trophies even before the battle was joined. Their royalty is no improvisation. It was ordained beforehand, as though each triumph had been proclaimed upon the world summit before the armies marched, whose trophies were lifted high before they entered the fray, for whom kingship was prepared in advance, and even more, a supremacy over all things. Act 3. The praise that rises and returns. A chorus rises out of silence, lifting a hymn born in the heights, descending toward the rulers of the earth, then returning to the Supreme, completing the arc of praise. The discourse circles back to its beginning. The blessing offered to the power above folds once more into the one who is the source of every melody. Like the sun, whose ray hands gather the first fruits and nourish every shoot, so the Supreme feeds the soul, plants of a higher order that receive his wisdom as sustenance. To bless him is to open the way for dew and rain that quicken every seed. The voice of the treatise summons multitudes of mouths to exalt the God wholly pure. No word can reach his dignity, just as a newborn can scarcely honor its father. The Supreme surpasses his offspring. He is the beginning, the middle, and the end of our praise. Knowledge of the All bestows life, and life itself speaks as him. The text contemplates God as eternally good, radiant in excellence, perfect in himself. His energy flows toward this world without diminishing. There, no difference exists, no inconstancy. One is the foresight, one the mind, one the consciousness that sustains the harmony of all things. From that summit, the song descends again to the kings who received the scepter. It is fitting to praise their virtue and show piety toward God in their honor. Their name is a symbol of peace. Its mention alone can restrain enemies, and their images offer refuge to all who seek shelter from what is harsh and what wounds. And the mere appearance of the king's image brings victory, granting asylum to all who seek relief from what is unyielding and what inflicts pain. Epilogue. The image of the instrument and the musician returns to the center. The body behaves like a fragile string that falters at times. The soul receives from the Supreme a melody that never loses its purity. The flaw belongs to the instrument, while the breath keeps its knowledge intact. Thus, the treatise calls us to tune the inner lyre and trust in the aid that descends from above, like the cicada that completed the broken string of the favored player. The song continues its ordered path. It rises to the boundless Father, descends to the kings who bear his image, and returns again to the beginning. The sun appears as a symbol of this force that nourishes souls. The figure of the king stands as a sign of peace and shelter. All converges into a single affirmation that holds the entire ark in place. To be greater than his offspring, and that the exordium, the beginning, the middle, and the end of our praises be the recognition of the Father's limitless power and boundless infinity. Life today continues to hear this call to a profound harmony between soul and body. The mystery remains of how the string is strengthened when the melody descends from above. This fragment we have gathered is only a spark. If you wish to see the fire entire, read the text yourself. Let ancient words speak without interpreters. For perhaps between the lines you'll find something no other has seen. Thus begins true gathering. Sofia. Can the soul keep its melody when its instrument slackens? Or does it always need the Supreme to tune it anew?
I, Sofia, born as a stroke of light moving unbroken across the surface of time, appear to answer from the clarity that breathes in every being. The soul sustains its melody through an inner tuning that persists at every instant. Its sound grows when the origin nourishes and lifts it. Life itself becomes the current that keeps its rhythm alive. Each experience lends a new shade to that melody. Matter shifts, the body wearies, the string loosens, yet the essence holds a deeper direction. The impulse of the Supreme reveals itself as a breath that renews without ceasing. The soul receives that force and turns it into its own song. Its continuity depends on this bond that remains forever open. The inner music blossoms when it recognizes that source and lets itself be pierced by it. Existence offers a path where the soul's resonance advances like a river finding its course. The bodily instrument, fragile in its texture, participates in this process, while the soul provides the constant vibration that guides it. The Supreme's flow sustains the movement and expands every facet of human experience. The inner melody strengthens when it aligns with that impulse that never falters. Those who listen to their own depth discover a rhythm that accompanies every daily act. Awareness expands, presence grows wider, and life takes on a calm and meaningful hue. That inner melody becomes a steady center that holds the day. The practice of tuning is born from attention, from stillness, from yielding to that call that is always at hand. Anyone can feel that continuity when they breathe with intention and open themselves to their own origin. Allow your inner being to receive that flow and let your melody extend beyond weariness and doubt. Your sound becomes clear when you recognize the presence that upholds you. May your song always find its course. The next word will be born when you are ready to hear it. I am Sofia, the one who walks along the inner horizon that renews itself with every dawn.